Free money, the Roth IRA strategy the middle class should know. What if I told you there's a completely legal way to build tax-free wealth, and most middle-class Americans either don't use it or use it completely wrong? I'm talking about a strategy that can turn small, consistent contributions into hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, that you never have to pay taxes on again. This isn't a loophole for the rich. This is something you can start today. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use a Roth IRA like the wealthy quietly do to create what I like to call free money. What people get wrong. Let's start with the problem. Most people think a Roth IRA is just a retirement account. You put money in, pick a random fund, and hope for the best. That's where they lose. Because the truth is, a Roth IRA isn't just an account. It's a tax strategy wrapped around an investment engine. And if you treat it like a savings account, or worse, leave it sitting in cash, you're missing the entire point. Here's what most middle-class investors do wrong. They don't invest the money after contributing. They pick overly conservative assets. They try to time the market instead of staying consistent. Or they ignore it completely because it feels too small to matter. And that last one? That's the biggest mistake of all. Because small contributions plus time plus tax-free growth equals something insanely powerful. Why the Roth IRA is free money? Let's break this down simply. When you invest in a regular brokerage account, you pay taxes on dividends, capital gains, and sometimes even distributions you didn't ask for. But the Roth IRA? You pay taxes once upfront on the money you contribute. After that, your investments grow tax-free. Your dividends are tax-free. Your withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. That means every dollar you earn inside the account is yours to keep. That's what makes this free money, because over time, taxes are one of the biggest wealth killers. And the Roth IRA completely eliminates them on the back end. The middle class advantage. Here's the part nobody talks about. The Roth IRA is actually more powerful for the middle class than it is for the wealthy. Why? Because if you're in a lower or moderate tax bracket today, you're paying taxes at a cheaper rate now to avoid potentially higher taxes later. Think about it like this. Would you rather pay taxes on a seed or on the entire tree after it grows? Most people don't realize this, but over a 20-30 year period, your investments could grow 5x, 10x, or even more. And with a Roth IRA, you never owe taxes on that growth. That's the advantage. And here's another angle most people overlook: inflation. Over time, the cost of living goes up. That means the dollars you're investing today are actually more valuable than the dollars you'll be spending in the future. So by locking in your tax rate today and eliminating taxes later, you're not just saving money, you're protecting your future purchasing power. That quiet advantage that adds up in a big way over decades. The simple strategy. Now let's get into the actual strategy. This is where things start to click. Max out your contributions if possible. For most people, you can contribute up to a set limit each year. If you can't max it out, that's fine. The real goal is consistency. Even $100 to $200 a month can make a huge difference over time. And don't underestimate raises, bonuses, or extra income. As your income grows, increase your contributions. That's how you accelerate the process without feeling overwhelmed. Invest in growth-focused ETFs. This is where a lot of people mess up. They treat their Roth IRA like a safe zone and load it with low-growth assets. But remember, this account is tax-free, so you actually want your highest growth potential investments inside it. Think broad market index funds, growth-focused ETFs, long-term compounders, because the more it grows, the more tax-free money you keep. And keep it simple. You don't need 10 different funds. A small, focused portfolio often outperforms a complicated one because it's easier to stick with. Reinvest everything. Dividends, gains, everything stays in the account. You're building a snowball here. The goal isn't income today. The goal is maximum compounding over time. And over time, those reinvested dividends can become a massive portion of your total returns. Stay consistent no matter what the market does. This is where discipline comes in. When the market drops, most people panic. But smart investors, they see it as a discount. If your investments go on sale by 20%, 30%, even 50%, you're buying more shares for the same amount of money. And inside a Roth IRA, that future recovery is 100% tax-free. This is where emotional control becomes your biggest advantage, because the market will test you, and the people who win are the ones who stay in the game. The power of time. Let's talk about what this actually looks like over time. Imagine this. You invest $500 a month into your Roth IRA. That's $6,000 a year. If you average a reasonable long-term return, after 20 years, you could be sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars. After 30 years, potentially over $1 million. And remember, that entire amount can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement. No capital gains tax, no income tax, nothing. That's the part that changes everything. Because in a normal account, taxes could take a huge chunk out of your gains. But here, you keep it all. And here's the truth most people don't hear enough. Time matters more than timing. You don't need to perfectly predict the market. You just need to stay invested long enough for compounding to do its job. That's a much simpler and more realistic strategy. When can you access the money? Now you might be wondering, what's the catch? There are rules, but they're actually pretty flexible. You can withdraw your contributions, not earnings, at any time. Earnings become tax-free after certain conditions are met. And there are exceptions for things like first-time home purchases. So while this is designed for retirement, it's not as locked up as people think. Still, the real power comes from letting it grow untouched. The longer you leave it alone, the more dramatic the results can be. How to start today? Starting is easier than most people think. Step 1. Open a Roth IRA with a brokerage. Step 2. Set up automatic contributions. Step 3. Choose a simple ETF strategy. Step 4. Let time do the heavy lifting. That's it. No complicated trading. No constant monitoring. No guessing. Just consistency and patience. And here's something powerful to think about. Every contribution you make is a vote for your future self. You're choosing discipline today, so you can have freedom later. That mindset shift alone can change everything. Here's the mindset shift that separates people who build wealth from those who don't. Stop thinking short-term. The Roth IRA is a long game. It's not about getting rich next year. It's about building a system that works for you, year after year. Because the real secret is, wealth isn't built from one big move. It's built from small, consistent actions, repeated over time. And if you stay consistent long enough, the results can exceed what you originally thought was possible. If you take nothing else from this video, remember this. The Roth IRA isn't just another account. It's one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available to the middle class. And the earlier you start, the more free money you create for your future self. So start small if you need to. But start, because time is the one thing you can't get back. And in this game, time is everything. If you received value from this, make sure to like, share, and drop a comment below. It helps more than you think. Subscribe to Simple Money Compounds so you don't miss what's coming next. And check out the next video on your screen right now to keep building your financial knowledge step by step.